Welcome to Talk is Sheep, the official podcast of the Wild Sheep Society of British Columbia. Brought to you by our title sponsor, Mountain Tough Fitness Lab. Come along with us as we take conversations that matter to you into the high alpine. We have partnered with Mountain Tough Fitness Lab to help get you in shape and mentally stronger. Whether you're a veteran hunter or just starting out, the Mountain Tough app will take you to the next level. We personally train using the Mountain Tough programs, and we believe in it so much that we want to give you 6 weeks for free using code SHEEPBC. That's SHEEPBC. Check out Mountain Tough Fitness Lab. You won't be disappointed. This episode is sponsored by our conservation partner, Precision Optics. Thank you Sitka Gear and Precision Optics for investing in healthy wildlife and sustainable ecosystems. Gregory, what a treat to see your smiling face today.
I feel like it's been forever, Kyle.
Well, we've had a bit of a run here. So, okay, here we're recording Wednesday or Friday, and we drop on Wednesday. So we're officially 2 full days late, probably 3 by the time this gets edited out. And okay, litany of excuses, but what we will start off with is we had a really amazing guest. I'm not going to jinx ourselves and tell you who it was, but there was this little thing called hurricane that hit Florida, and that really threw a spanner in the works. And then we had some audio issues. So here we are, round 3. And but hey, the show must go on, and we got to get the message out to the sheep people. So
yeah, it's I think it's a weird one to say. We almost got lucky that the guest didn't show up because we could not figure out our audio. It was terrible.
Yeah. So, big week. Friday, we're rolling into the weekend here. Anything going on for you this weekend? Any hunting? What's going on?
No hunts planned. Maybe road hunting, go fishing, but I'm gonna definitely going fishing on Sunday. So that's about it.
That's
for me, nice and quiet.
On the new boat?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's working out good. You happy with it?
Yeah, it's excellent. Gets into the small lakes that I wanted it for, but it's big enough to go onto the bigger lakes. And being in Prince George, we've got a good mix of both. And with living on the southwest side, or I guess west of Prince George, I've got a good selection of lakes really close by, so I could just hop and bring the boat out after work, and it works. Don't need a boat launch, just need to be able to drive to the beach.
Perfect. What did you end up getting? What was it?
It's a 16.5 foot. Oh man, why is my brain not working? 16.5 foot with a 60 horse on it. It's set up for fishing. It's similar to a bass boat style. So
okay.
The front folds flat, and and the back folds flat, and then you can put a pilot's chair in the middle of each. And it's good.
How would it work for spring bear?
I don't know. It'd probably work pretty good.
Might have to come down to the island and you and I go and see if we can chase some bears around in some estuaries.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. Just trying to think of how the floor would be. Like I think the floor would be good for it. I'll give her a go. Maybe I'll shoot a moose on this weekend while I'm fishing.
Yeah, no doubt, eh?
Yeah.
Good. So I just got back from southern Alberta, and the long anticipated antelope hunt that I've been looking forward to for months now, and got my lovely wife. She got herself a beautiful pronghorn antelope. So her first ever animal, pretty epic, I would have to say.
Yeah, no, the pictures, both of them you guys got were gorgeous, but hers has got that nice heart shape to the horns. Like that's a nice buck. And for your first animal, I don't know, might have already ruined it for her. It's never going to be able to shoot anything smaller, or just going to always think it's going to just be that easy.
Yeah. And she was, 5 hours into opening day too, right? She connected, which is always a bit So it was a bit of a, but it got her hooked. Like and it's always tough, right? Like when you take someone new that like out hunting and they don't really know, and and it could just be like some weird thing, maybe something, you lose an animal or whatever, you make a shot that's not as good as it should be or something like that, and it ruins it for people. You hear that all the time. So I was pretty elated that it was a good experience for her. It was one shot, animal was down, and yeah, it just worked out perfectly.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. How was that? The field of emotions for her first animal. I know it was pretty neat watching my wife when she got her first.
Yeah, it was she handled it really well. Actually, I was really impressed. So as we've talked about before, Greg, she did that FTW course in Texas there. She went down to San Antonio and she did it through the Women Hunt program. We paid for it. So she wasn't one of the ones that go through the program that get I guess the scholarship or whatever you want to call it, or the grant. So she went down, went through the course, and that's what got her hooked. So she was really they were shooting up to 800, 1,000 yards, feeling really confident, and like they fed her a lot of knowledge, like 5 days straight, and it was kind of like it was like sun up till sundown. They worked them hard. It was not a relaxation program. So I think that gave her a lot of confidence. And so when she got out there, she knew what she wanted to do. That antelope, she set up on him. It was about 225 yards. She'd never shot off shooting sticks before, so that was kind of new for her. And when she first got on him, and it was the outfitter was he's like, "Okay, shoot him," and you could tell he was starting to get nervous. There were some does around, and he's like, "Yeah, you can shoot him now." And I'm like, just take your time. And I just wanted it to, the last thing I wanted her to do was make a bad shot. I have a feeling if that, it's one of she's so tuned in, and so like her brain is so focused on an ethical shot, and like a quick death and all that sort of stuff, that I feel like if it gone bad, it could have not been not good for her hunting futures, that she might have taken it pretty seriously. And and that stuff happens, right? So anyway, really good clean kill. But she got on I guess the outfitter was saying she got on the shooting sticks, and she was all over, and then she just settled, and that's what she said. She just caught her breath, and she just went back to the trainings that she did, and she just focused, and then everything just went away. She couldn't hear me, she couldn't hear the outfitter, and it just crosshairs just settled on the antelope, and it was all over. So pretty cool to watch.
So she got in the zone, eh? It's
That
awesome.
was the zone. That was an inspiration for me, that's for sure.
Have you
So
challenged her to a shooting competition yet now?
absolutely not. There's no way, buddy. Yeah. I have many strengths, and shooting is not one of them. I'll be the first
Yeah,
to
I
admit
hear
it.
that FTW ranch, everybody that comes out of there's sharpshooter when they're done, and it's you hear from a couple of people that have gone through, their wives have gone through that course down there, and they're like, oh yeah, they just shoot me under the table now. I don't even stand a chance. It's
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be cool to have that level of training and stuff. But yeah, obviously it's a big deal, and it's a week long and not a cheap course either. Obviously be worth the investment, but it's a lot to undertake. So yeah, but it's all good. So
yeah,
pretty epic trip.
yeah. We got something else happened this week, and the voting, the voting for your candidacy, and we drove that into people's homes for a few days there, and get back on that Wild Sheep Foundation board.
Yeah, I have to say you've done a phenomenal job, and like I don't, I'm not, I'm not big on marketing myself. I don't really like it, so you made it pretty easy. You've done an amazing job, and the great support from the society and our leadership, and you specifically, Greg, and really grateful for it. And it's interesting. I ran last year and wasn't elected, and just didn't put a lot of effort into sort of campaigning, and just kind of was like, I don't know, just kind of felt like a lot of people didn't campaign, and I was kind of watching the other people that were on the ballot, and I was just like, yeah, whatever, and then didn't get elected. So you know what, no stone left unturned this year. I put my best foot forward, and then if I don't get elected, that's a very clear sign I will not be putting my name back in anytime soon. So but no, it's been pretty cool, and pretty excited about it. I got a call today from Cam Foss, and Cam's like, just call your buddies and tell them to vote because people like, and he said it's weird. Like he got the email for um one person in his family, but then his ended up in the spam, and it was like, so if it ends up in the spam, people don't know, and then it's not front of mind. So he's like, make sure you call your friends and people and let them know and make sure they vote. And he goes, he didn't vote for me last year. He goes, I didn't even know really how to vote or what to do, and I never really thought about it. And he's like, I would have frickin' voted for you for sure. I just didn't know what to do. So I think people are a lot more aware this year. We've beat that drum pretty hard, and at least they know about it, right? So if I don't get elected this year, there's no excuses.
Yeah, I know there's been a few people's, like even mine went to my junk mail, and I get emails from the foundation all the time that never end up in my junk. So it was kind of interesting. And I don't know, we changed it on social, and we seen a couple of people that were commenting like, "Oh, when do we get our emails?" And then people were saying, "Oh, it's in the junk," and that's where they were finding it. So it's hopefully everybody's finding it in the junk. But if you're going to go the mail-in route, you should have that in your possession by now too. And if you're a Canadian feller or lady voting for Mr. Stelter, make sure you get that mailed off because we don't have the greatest track record for mail up here. So get that in if it's not down in their hands by the time they count votes. It don't count. They're not going to wait for it.
Yeah.
Get
So
off.
December,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry, December 15th is the cutoff, and it does take a long time. I know last year our ballots showed up, and I was pretty surprised at how late they showed up, and then the other thing of it too is, I think like when you ship something to the U.S., you got to put your return address. So make sure you put your return address on there because if you don't, if they can't send it back to you because there's no return address, so your ballot's not going to count. So anyway, I'm actually like this new system where it's electronic. I've always liked that actually. Like, um, Alaska uses that system. Alaska WSF, Rocky Mountain Gold Alliance used it. I thought it was a pretty cool system. I liked it a lot, actually. I think it's a superior system. So, yeah.
Yeah, I like the individual pin and password. I think that's a good idea. So you can't, no cheating. Nobody's
Yeah.
inflating the votes at the other end. But
Yeah, exactly.
uh,
Yeah. Candidate slate's really, really strong though. Like that's the thing. There's like I got really four really good, strong candidates that I'm running against. So, yeah, I think um, every vote's going to count. That's for sure. So, I even set my vote in.
oh, there you go. Did you even
Yeah.
vote for yourself? No.
Yeah. Yeah. So, no, it's exciting. And, so we'll know December 15th. And, of course, there's the Canada bios on the Wild Sheep Foundation website, and it's been plastered everywhere. I think you get your name in for a drawing for a Weatherby or something too. If you there's
Yeah, it's worth like $5,400 US
right,
automatically entered once you send in your vote, which is pretty cool. It's a good incentive. It's a free draw basically for you, for a rifle.
yeah, yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, short answer is just vote. And yeah, if you don't like what I stand for, that's cool. Just make sure you get your votes in. And but yeah, I think it's pretty important to be heard. And I think like when I was on the board last year, voter turnout was really low in previous years, so that they've made some pretty serious changes, and I like the changes they've made. I think it's been really effective. So very cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, and I'm gonna, toot your horn a little bit more while we're here, Kyle. I know, I know you hate it. I know you hate people talking good about you. You'd rather them just slag you all day and tell them. But I know, like up here, we've been honored, and it's a privilege to be working alongside you and with the Wild Sheep Society. You've been there since 2017. You're the past president. You're the CEO now, and like under your leadership, we've experienced the incredible growth, and we've you've well, I said you've been a part of quadrupling the conservation funding. We're putting over $600,000 a year on the mountain now. We're instrumental in launching One Campfire, the Monarch program, the conservation partnerships, and you've made a lasting impact on conservation here in BC. And when your time on Wild Sheep Foundation board. You've put that effort into other jurisdictions around North America and the world, and you're changing the game, and you're making a difference, and we're happy to work with you, and we hope you stick around once you get back on that board and start running the ship down on WSF.
Well, that's very kind words. I appreciate that, buddy. And yeah, and as you know, it's I think the cool thing for me is just we've been surrounded by phenomenal people, and like both, when I was involved with the foundation on the board there, and then up here in BC, just it's incredible the team that we have. And you can look at the gray hairs. They don't have too many gray hairs, but you look at Southern and Barker, they've been doing this for 2 decades, 2+ decades, right? It's pretty cool. And guys are still involved, like Bill Pastrick and Heitzman, and yeah, they're not on the board, but they're still pretty active, involved in the society. And Bill was there; he was there in the first meeting, So super cool that we have such a dedicated group of people, and I'm very biased about our group here in BC, and of course the foundation. Yeah, their track record just speaks for themselves. You look at the great work that the foundation's done and how they've grown over the past, couple 15 years. It's been phenomenal. And I kind of feel like that foundation is it's just getting going. There's a lot of upside for them too. So definitely some challenges. Um, but the members and our dedicated members are phenomenal. It's interesting. We just did a membership promotion with the Wild Sheep Foundation, and I think we signed up 110 life members and 41 Summit Life members last month, in the month of September. So,
Wow.
yeah, phenomenal. Like, could you imagine like 110 life members? That's a lot of people. That's crazy.
Yeah,
So,
it's a fair amount of dough people are willing to throw around. It's a good chunk. That's I'm impressed. It's
well, I'm a little disappointed actually. It cost me a lot of money because we put together this promo. So the membership committee membership was a little soft last year on the foundation. I'm membership chair, and it's a bit soft on the foundation side. Just didn't have the growth that we'd had in previous years. It was, we'd had record year after record year after record year, and then last year was still growing and still positive, but it just wasn't what we'd seen in previous years. So I got a kick in the butt by a few people. Said, "Hey, you got to up your A game." So we did this campaign in September, and obviously hugely successful. But the bloody email comes out, and what happens? I'm sitting in my comfy chair, and Melanie's like, "Hey, what's this promotion?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, you get a Stone Glacier backpack, you get you get this gift certificate to Stone Glacier, and you get this jacket." And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Eh? She was like, yeah, sign me up. I'm like, oh shit. So, oh my goodness. So I'm like, oh, Maddie, you gotta sign Melanie up. So that cost me a few shekels, but that'll teach me. But it just goes to show you, like, she was blown away by it. And right away she signed up to Summit. So yeah, really cool.
Yeah, it was quite the drive with Stone Glacier. If I
Yeah.
was an RD Life member, it would have definitely enticed me.
You could have signed up as a Summit. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, hey, I might have some explaining to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair.
But
Fair. Yeah.
on top of that, we have another election coming up, which we're strongly urging folks on social media to get involved and in our e-blasts. But our October 19th date is counting down, and we want everyone to look into their candidates, look into who they're going to vote for, and well, give wildlife a thought this time. Like everyone in the outdoor community, we got to step up, think about wildlife, and actually show up to vote for a change. So we've got enough voices to make a difference, and it seems like we don't voice ourselves very often or make a difference. But when you're learning about your candidates and you're heading to the polls, I'm urging everyone to think about wildlife.
Yeah. Well said for sure, Greg. And yeah, it can be pretty daunting at times, and I guess frustrating where you're just we're pushing, trying to make wildlife a priority, and yeah, just we need to see some positive changes in the province, and so yeah, I totally agree with you. I'll be at the ballot box for sure. And I'm voting for change where it's investment in wildlife, and whoever's going to do that the best, that's who's getting my vote for sure. So, and I think we as hunters we can make a difference. I just did a podcast with Yonki on Beyond the Kill there, and we were talking about it's like, well, there's these other issues, right? Like it's like, oh, my job and my kids' schooling and taxes and healthcare and all these other things, and to get it, but like what's really really high priority in your life, and I guess that's the balancing act. um but for me it's just yeah, government has to do better for sure. And that I'm not I'm not calling for a change in leadership, but I'm calling for a change in tactics, that's for sure. So just whoever can do that job, that's who's getting my ballot for sure. So
Yeah, no, I feel the same. I've had a few people reach out after our social media posts and asking who the Wild Sheep Society's voting for, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna have that conversation with you, but if you want to have a heart to heart on my reasonings on why I'm gonna go in a certain direction, that's a different story. But yeah, we're not gonna from a society standpoint label who we want you to vote for. Just so stop
yeah.
asking us.
And we can't, right? Like it's not that we don't want to say. We've kind of, and again, we don't sit there in our board meetings and say, "Oh, we're going to get this party elected," because we can't. We have to be apolitical as a not-for-profit. We have to be unbiased, and we can focus on issues. We can focus on um advocacy, but we can't be take a political position. And then because then you become a political action group, and that changes your designation. So, yeah, so we can't do that. But we can advocate for policies and different different issues. Now, if you go to our website, wildsheepsociety.com/get involved, there's a document on there. It's a one pager. It's actually a two pager, but the issues are on the one page. I think we got 7 core issues that we're highlighting around wildlife in the province and what we want to see in the perfect world. So, if you're in the province, you're a voter in BC, you're voting age. Now's the time to go and meet with your elected officials or your potential elected officials, the candidates, because they'll listen to you. They want their votes. They want your votes. So there's town halls. I know the BCWF's done a bunch of town halls all around the province, and go out and talk to the candidates, but you just ring them up. I've had candidates knocking on my door and ask them about these issues. So, if you want some cheat sheets or some notes on some of the things to look at that document on our website at wildsheepstudy.com/get involved. And it's going to highlight some of the core issues. So disease, investment in wildlife. Those are kind of the things that we're advocating for. And tell them what you want to see. Ask them that, their policy or their stance on it. And then the one thing is build that relationship. And then once they're elected, go back, follow up and say, hey, we talked about this, and I maybe voted for you, or maybe I didn't, but you can tell them you voted for them based on you supporting these issues. And this is what I want to see. And they're accessible. I've met with every single one of my MLAs last, 15 years or 10 years or whatever it has been. And they'll meet with you. They want your votes, and this is the time. So you got 2 more weeks left, and then you're going to be stuck with whoever it is for the next 4 years. So
Yeah, and I want to say they have to meet with you, don't they?
they do, but they are freaking brutal, man. Like the excuses they make, and oh, this and that, and they're yeah. But if you're persistent, and then if you threaten them, uh, yeah,
I'm going public.
not threaten them, but if you go, there is a mechanism, I think, in government where you can go to say, hey, I've tried to meet with my elected official, they won't meet with me, and there is a thing there that you can do that. So, but they do have a responsibility to meet with their candidates for sure. But they don't, they obviously don't need to be accessible 24/7 and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I've actually tried to meet with my candidate here last year. I can't even remember what was our last issue that was it. I can't.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, I can't remember what the last one was. I tried to meet with her last fall and just was not having any luck. But I've kind of left it now till since the election. But yeah, I'll be hitting them up after election, whoever's. And I think that's the important part is building that relationship. If you can go in and talk to them and tell them about these issues that you're concerned about. I have to say, like the last two MLAs I had were both NDP, and they they were really good to talk to. Like I didn't get the results I wanted, um, the things I was advocating for, but they listened. They got back to me. They did say they went to the premier's office. They gave me some feedback on it. How much of a difference it made. I'm not really sure, but and it doesn't. Don't think, oh, they're not whatever my party. It doesn't matter. And you don't even have to tell them who you voted for. In fact, they don't even ask you. They don't ask you for your vote. I've never been asked to vote for them, and they never ask me who I voted for. They're there to represent you. All they care about is your postal code. If your postal code's in their writing, that's all they care about. So
Yeah, no, it's perfect. Yeah, and like you said, like not doesn't have to be leading up to it. You meet with them after too, and try to get your voice heard. We've done that quite a few times, and try to not so much push things, but light a fire, I guess you could say, and might not be your cup of tea on who you're dealing with, but got to get out there, get heard, chat to them, and use our talking points for this.
well, and I guess for our listeners, we've got British Columbians, but if you're an American, we got the elections happening down there too, right? So, and it's the same stuff. Like, go out, get involved, and for anyone that's not really up to speed, there's Prop 27 in Colorado as well. That's been circulating pretty heavily on the internet. So obviously, these are ballot box issues that it's important to get educated and make sure that you're voting and doing the right thing there. So this is a big election down south too, right? So again, I don't think I've never felt, I guess that's I'm getting older, Greg, and maturing, but I've never felt it's more important to be involved politically and vote and make sure your voice is heard and you're active with your local elected officials and advocating for the policies that you want to see, because that's the only thing that's going to fix it. Like if you think there's going to be a magic wand and it's all, and you know what, you might see a change in government, you might see a different color in the office. If you don't hold them to account, it's going to be a challenge there too, right? So it's just because we make some changes in the office doesn't mean that you're going to fix all the problems there either. There's a lot of constraints and there's a lot of competing issues, and wildlife need a voice. And if it's not our listeners, it's not you, it's not me. There's not other people. It's not like there's a lot of people out there really advocating for it. So a few people can make a huge difference.
Yeah, and we're definitely the minority, and it's easy I hate to say it, but it's easy for people in those offices to forget about wildlife and put it on the back burner. And if we're not bringing it to the forefront, like you said, it's just going to continue to get forgotten. It's a easy place for them to pull funds from, and it's getting sick of it. But
Yeah, yeah, and we've seen some of that happen here in BC, right? There's been funding redirected and funding shortfalls, and there's just not enough investment. And that's one of our plights. And it's not the only issue. There's lots of people that'll be like, money's not the only thing. I'm like, yeah, okay, fair enough. It's not the only thing, but it's important. Like, don't don't kid yourself. It's bloody important. And if you're not investing and you're not putting the time and an effort into it, yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, for sure. And at the same time, the same day we have the elections open, we've got something else happening down in Penticton, or over in Penticton, or up in Penticton, depending on where you live. It's down for me, but it's October 19th. We'll be working on general pen maintenance, cleaning, tightening wires, overall upkeep, and it's a hands-on opportunity with O&A to work on the bighorn sheep drug trial pens.
Yeah, so that project. So what happened was we had a car cross dull sheet project that we had over $300,000 in investments come in from the Wild Sheep Foundation and their chapter and affiliate network. It was an appeal that was done. in South Dakota at the chapter and affiliates, not last summer, but the summer before. And the project couldn't go forward. I think it was political, to be honest with you. I don't really know the nuances. Regardless, we couldn't move forward with the project. It didn't get done. So that money was redirected, and 106,000 US dollars was redirected from the Wild Sheep Foundation and their chapter and affiliates to this Penticton Soroptes project. And what we're doing is we've got captive bighorn sheep. We're going to go out, capture them, and they're going to be in these pens, and they're going to go through a drug trial to try and eradicate Soroptes from infected bighorns. So very cool project. In October 19th, ONA is hosting a worker bee opportunity. And there's going to be a bunch of volunteer opportunities all winter and into the new year as well. Throughout the year, it's really exciting. It's with the Penticton Indian Band. So if you're interested in volunteering, it's October 19th. We're going to feed you lunch, or ONA is going to feed you lunch. It's an opportunity to get involved, get your hands on. Actually, you can't. The sheep aren't going to be there yet, so I can't say that. But I'm visualizing what's going to happen. But we're going to be cleaning up the pens, getting it ready to go, and they're building new pens. And then shortly thereafter, they'll be capturing them and moving them in. And then this winter, we'll be doing that drug trial. So really cool. If anyone's interested, they can send me an email, kstelter@wildsheepsociety.com, or Hannah's actually doing the heavy lifting on keeping track of everything. So it's exec@wildsheepsociety.com, and just say, hey, I want to volunteer. It's in South Okanagan in Penticton, and we'll give you all the details. Yeah, just show up and you get to go to work and then be involved. And it's going to be a really, really cool project.
Yeah, and for those of you that are thinking you'll sit around and volunteer when the hands-on stuff comes for sheep, you might want to get in there early, because the volunteers that show up at the start, they're going to get preference over the people that just show up for the glory stuff. Got to put the hard work in at the start.
Yeah, well said. We've already got a pretty good list of people that have signed up. Yeah, it's really cool. And then we are working with the Okanagan Nation Alliance. You and I are going to be in Penticton on, what's our date on that? The 24th, I think.
24th, yes, sir.
Yeah, October 24th for a landmark signing. We've got a memorandum of understanding to work together with the Okanagan Nation Alliance to restore these bighorns. It's a really exciting opportunity to work together, and we're just really looking forward to supporting these bighorns. And ONA's been very focused on restoring the bighorn herds. They're decimated, basically. There's it's just a cesspool of freaking disease. There's Soroptes, there's MOV, and it's expanding. So they've seen that in the South Okanagan. They've also seen it across the border in Washington State. The Colville tribe's seen it down there. Washington State wildlife has seen it down there. And then there was the blue tongue die off. It's just on and on and on. So this is a big project for us. We'll be fundraising for it, and we'll be putting a lot of effort into restoring these bighorns in the South Okanagan.
Yeah, there's something around 700 sheep spread out throughout the South Okanagan in the ONA areas, and I'm not too sure what they're hoping for the carrying capacity, but those numbers can bump up to in the thousands. Not a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just and again, sadly, there was we were looking for funding from the provincial government on it, and that didn't happen. So again, advocate for wildlife. Go to the polls, talk to your candidates, go tell them that, hey, you need to invest in wildlife. You need to do these things to support these projects. And because unfortunately, and there's actually been an article circulating recently about the Soroptes program is canceled, or I'm not sure exactly how it's worded, but basically the government didn't support the project through funding. And so there's a funding shortfall. But fortunately, Wild Sheep Society BC, with our partners, Wild Sheep Foundation, chapter and affiliates, along with the Okanagan Nation Alliance, are investing in these animals. And that project is going to go forward. We're going to find the funds, and we're going to make sure it happens. So, a great opportunity that we see, stakeholder NGO, whatever you want to call us, working with First Nations. And unfortunately, we're not seeing a lot of involvement from the government. Obviously, they have to do the permitting and stuff, but it's just unfortunate because we could be so much more effective if they were able to support like we would expect they would.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's try try not to get into it too much and get angry on a podcast. But yeah, there's definitely some shortfalls, and I'd, we're happy to help and make a difference, and you know put our energy and efforts there, and our members' funding and our donors and supporters. So that's what we're here
Well,
for. We're here to make a difference, right?
yeah, and I think Greg, the cool thing about this is that, they talk about reconciliation and shared decision making and First Nations, and this is like what it should be, right? We've got a First Nation in the Okanagan Nation Alliance, we've got an NGO in the society, and our partners through the foundation and their chapter and affiliates, and we're working together. We're like, we're doing some pretty amazing thing. We're like, this is going to be amazing for wild sheep, and we're going to do some really cool things, and that's really the way it should be. And I think it's a model that in other jurisdictions that hopefully we can see that opportunity to work together and do some really good things for wildlife, wild sheep.
Yeah, it's definitely a big step in the right direction, and proud to be a part of it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
What else we got going on, Mr. Stelter?
Well, we only have 2 weeks left on our Magnificent Seven rifle raffle. So I know we talk lots about raffles. Why is it so important? First of all, we can't market them on frickin' social media. So the metaverse has killed that for us. So kind of our only outreach opportunity is through our podcast or through the website or through print magazine, that sort of thing. We can't do much e-blast. We can't do anything on social. So that's challenging. This raffle is so important because it last year it raised $170,000 for conservation projects in the province. This year we're a bit softer because we've lost the ability to market it on social media. Um, so that's where we're asking for you as our listeners and our supporters. If you're in British Columbia, unfortunately, we got the gaming rules. You guys have all heard about that, where you can only buy if you're in the province. So pick up some tickets. They're $50 each. You get 6 chances to win. Now there was 7 prizes, but we drew an early bird, and it's $86,000 in prizes. Precision Optics supported this. It's a phenomenal prize package. So the number one prize is a Gunworks all kitted out. It's worth over 20 grand. Absolutely beautiful rifle, and that's just one of 6 amazing prizes. The cool thing is with one ticket, if you get drawn, your name goes back in. Technically, you can win all 6. I think statistically that's physically impossible, but where there's a will, there's a way. So the short answer is buy some tickets. Your odds are a hell of a lot better than in a freaking lottery. If you're buying a lottery ticket through, you know, BC Lotteries, and the cool thing is that you're actually going to support wild sheep conservation in the province. So.
Well, and these are they're lucky rifles, aren't they? The Egan there who got the first early bird prize there. Was it a 7 millimeter PRC with the fierce twisted rage and a Leopold VX5 HD? He went and shot a dandy elk up in the South Peace. That was awesome seeing the pictures from him. So that's
He was raving about it.
yeah. So
Yeah.
there's a good luck touch to these rifles. So if you win one, you're guaranteed to shoot a big bull elk.
Or Greg will buy you whiskey.
Yeah, there's your two options. You're either shooting a big bull or I'll buy a sniff of whiskey.
Yeah, yeah, very cool. So, but yeah, that ticket sales wrap up on that in 16 days. October 20th is the cutoff on that. We don't draw it till the 26th, I think it is. It's on the following weekend. Um, but it's a very cool opportunity to support the society, support wild sheep, and man, think of that rifle, man. It's any one of those. The cheapest one's still over $5,000. So, I hate using the word cheap because there's nothing cheap about them. They're just amazing.
Yeah, I know it's
So
big. That's it's quite the package that's put out there, and all the donors everywhere that stepped up, and like you said, orchestrated by Precision Optics, who was kind of the front runner, and Omar's the man when it comes to that stuff, and shows up big yet again for conservation in this province with this magnificent seven. So my
Well,
man.
and that's the thing, Greg, is it's actually it's a little staggering the support we get. So what Omer's done there, um, Precision Optics, they've put the package together, and Omer's got a ton of his own dough in there. Precision Optics um, underwrote a whole bunch of it, but Gunworks, Pierce, Zeiss, Snowy Mountain Rifles, and setting us up with these packages. And this is like a phenomenal opportunity where we see industry working with an NGO and doing amazing things for wild sheep conservation. That's a full donation. So the all the proceeds go directly on the ground for our projects. And we couldn't do the work that we do if we didn't have that kind of support. You think like it was $170,000 in revenue off that last year, and we did $630,000 in projects. Like that's almost a quarter of our projects because of that bloody raffle. So anyway, short answer is support us, buy some tickets. This doesn't go to paying wages or paying, uh, you know, facilities or, rent or anything. It's on the ground work for conservation. So I couldn't think of a better, opportunity to support wild sheep conservation.
Yeah, I never thought about it that way with the amount of funds that went on the ground and the percentage that one raffle was actually worth for us. Like
Yeah.
it's incredible when you think about that. That's when you put it in those terms, it's unreal. Unreal support from our friend there in Quesnel.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing.
We got
Yes.
we got another thing on the go that's going to be drawn around the similar timeline too, I believe. The Our membership drive that's ongoing where it's is it our biggest one today? We have over $10,000 in prizes. And it's not just for new members, it's for upgrades. You name it, you got it. And if you gift a membership to someone, you're entered for the draw. So there's lots of chances to win. And that draw is coming up on October 26th. So if you know someone that needs a membership, don't hesitate to buy them some memberships.
Well, the cool thing is, Greg, like the odds are amazing on that. So it's a $10,000 prize package, 10,400 bucks or something like that. So, and nice stuff, right? Like there's Stone Glacier pack, there's some Sitka gear, Onyx map lifetime subscription, Yeti products, just the list is Frontiersman gear has donated a couple knives. Amazing. Like it's an amazing package. And um the cool thing with that is that it's not like we're signing up 2,000 members. So your odds of winning are hundreds. Like you're not like I don't exactly know what the odds are, but like two, 300, one and two or 300 for the cost of a membership. So $60. And here's the thing is, if you buy it, your name gets entered for if you buy someone a membership. So here's the catch. You're like, oh, I'm gonna buy my wife a membership or my kid a membership. So you sign your wife up or your husband or whoever, and then you're the referrer. So you both get your names in. So you've doubled your chances to win. So it's a real easy way to get your name in the draw. And again, support an organization. And so our listeners, we get thousands of listeners to the podcast a week, and we don't have thousands of members. We got 1,600 members, give or take. So, hey, sign up. We'd love to help you. And then it helps us to do the work we do. It helps us to put this programming on, to have the podcast, and bring programming that you guys like to see. So, love to have you sign up. October 20th is the cutoff. October 26th is the cutoff. And
It's the draw date. So I don't know. Are we going right to the end?
yeah, you can sign up right to the end there. So yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah, for sure. So sign up and be part of the Wild Sheep BC family.
Yeah, and it's now the prerequisite for listening to our podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please don't stop listening to us.
Uh, hey, and we got some really cool guests coming up. We're not going to jinx ourselves, and I've seen this before. Like, oh yeah, we have so and so on the podcast, and then they never come. So we're not gonna be that those people. But we got some really cool guests lined up. It's been a bit of a struggle. We're not going to lie. It's hunting season, so it's always a challenge. But we got some really cool guests lined up, and but a few weeks out. So yeah, really stoked. And if you got any recommendations for us, or if you got a great sheep story, if you've been out in the bush and you got a great sheep story, great hunting story, we'd love to talk to you about it. Maybe there's a spot for you on the podcast. And certainly, um, we have our media festival. That's our Wild Sheep Media festivals now on. So that's for 2025, and so we're looking for written submissions. We're looking for video. We're looking for photography, and there's a youth photography event as well. So the great opportunity to send your content in. And we use that through the magazine and through our website and all kinds of stuff there. And then we give away some really cool prizes. So there's a bunch of Sitka gear we're giving away there, and you get bragging rights to be the best. You're the
It's all
best.
about the bragging rights. And if you show up in Penticton, you get to come up on stage and Kyle's going to buy you a whiskey.
Hey, that's
Except for
my
the
line.
youths. Except for the youths. You gotta take a rain check on that if you're a youth.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, get signed up. Love to have you as a member. And the Wild Sheep Media Festival, if you're interested in that, you can go to our website and go to events and go to Media Festival, and you can get the information on what's involved there. But yeah, love to have your content. It's wildsheepsociety.com/media festival, and four categories, and I'd love to hear from you. So
Exactly. I don't know. Well, we do have another raffle on the go too. We still have the Jurassic Sacco Steiner package out there.
yeah, great package. So every year, Sacco Steiner kicks in for that. We've had it now for about 4 or 5 years. Full donation again, generous donation, and great opportunity to support what we're doing. We're drawing that closer to Christmas. I think we draw it right before Christmas. I can't remember the exact date, December 20th or something like that. And
14th.
oh, it's the 14th, yeah. So just in time for Christmas. And that project, that the money from that supports our Fraser River Test and Remove project. So again, important work for Project on the Ground. And this year it's a little bit different. We're doing a 50-50 with it. So it's really cool. So 50-50, as you know, you split the proceeds. So cool opportunity to win some cash too. So you got two chances to um, get signed up and get involved and support what we're doing.
Yeah, and that's a Sacco 90 Adventure 300 Winchester and Steiner Predator 4 rifle scope. So it's with illuminated reticles, and hell, they're even going to throw in a trucker hat. So we get
Yeah, yeah. Gun case, the whole works. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty sweet. Just a point of interest. Some people said, "Hey, I had a bunch of people when this first came out. Like, is this a scam because it's a different website?" We have also a secondary provider that provides our online raffles, and it's through Rafflebox. So if you get an email from Rafflebox, yeah, it's legit. So yeah, no, there's no scam there. It's if it's a Jurassic Classic rifle raffle, it's all good. So you can buy with confidence. There's nobody scamming you. So,
That's the only thing we have on Rafflebox right now. So
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. So what's going on in the hunting world, or I guess just the news feed, the world it's just blowing up with all the election stuff really, and I guess all the Middle East stuff. So we're not going to solve that problem tonight. But anything going on in the hunting world that we're uh, not too
oh,
much
there's
with?
some dandy rams going down still, some late season rams, but not our stories to tell yet. Hopefully one day, but
Well, I will say, and I'll say this because it's on social media. If you want to kill a big ram, just hang out with Matt McCabe. That's all
oh
I'm gonna say. Just
man,
hang around that guy. They just run out and they fall over dead right in front of him there. I think because he's got that gift. I texted with him today and he said he's he's gotten five guys on rams since he's taken one. So I feel like he's definitely um, showing the love. That's for sure. So
Yeah, no, he's tuned in when it comes to the mountains and it comes to sheep. That guy's he's got a gift and he's sharing it, which is pretty neat. Getting all his
yeah,
friends rams.
yeah, it's awesome and good guys like Wardo, Matt Ward killed that beautiful stone. I think he's just shy of 40 or right at 40 or something. It's just a beautiful, beautiful ram. Actually, it's a cover photo of our magazine, which should be in your hands in the next week here. So it's currently at the presses. So it's gone to print. I'm not sure if it's mailed yet or not, but you'll be getting that in the next couple of weeks for sure. So some great stories. It's our biggest edition yet, 70 some odd pages, and a bunch of sheep hunting stories. And Wardo's got his ram on the cover there. And again, that was the one that Matt McCabe was on, and Lauren Trousdale. And just great seeing our volunteers, our hardworking members being successful in the field and harvesting some amazing freaking rams too.
Yeah, some solid karma happening for some of those guys that do so much heavy lifting and this- they're making it happen and it's paying off. So it's kind of neat to see the guys that deserve it getting them. So they're putting in the work to conserve and work with us behind the scenes, guys like Wardo, and not too many people deserved Ram as much as he did. Like he's put in the work.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. We had our board meeting on Tuesday night, so we should talk a little bit about that funding approval for Skook's Landing. I think that makes sense. So basically, a lot of our members and number of listeners have probably put in for jet boats at Skook's Landing in northern BC, and it's kind of the gateway to that North Country if you're jet boating up there. And that Skook's Landing is it gets hit pretty hard. I think I've never put in there. Have you put in there, Greg?
No, never.
Yeah, so a bunch of on the board meeting, it was interesting. We asked, and there was a bunch of hands that went up of guys that have used that and gals, and so what's going on is the Northeast BC Wildlife Fund is kind of putting together a number of, I guess, stakeholder groups and private people to sort of work on restoring Skook's Landing to make sure that it's in good shape and that we take care of it and that we can continue to use it. And it's really kind of the only place that you have access there. So the society, the board of directors, through your leadership, thank you, sir, approved $25,000 towards Skook's Landing. And we found out that Northeast BC Wildlife Fund has approved that as well, and Northeast Rod and Gun Club's put some money in. So I think the budget was about $200,000 for that, but there's a bunch of sheep hunters in that North Country that have offered machine time and a whole bunch of other stuff. So just another, sheep hunters working together to do great things to look after the things that we care about.
Yeah, and they're still looking for support, and they're if you've got access to equipment or you're able to run equipment, they're looking for some people to volunteer and kind of piece this project together and make it work at the cheapest price possible. And that needs some love in that area, needs some land clearing. It's a whole bunch of work that needs to be done, and it'd be nice to get that a nice safe spot to launch your boats from, keep your vehicles and jet boat up a river, hit the mountains, and bring back a ram right to Skooks.
You painted a nice picture there. I like it.
Trying to put a visual out there for folks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, brother, it's Friday night. We've taken a bunch of your precious time, and I have to apologize. My mic didn't work last time around, and we, spent 45 minutes yammering on, and couldn't hear me. So, and people were probably prefer that. So but it was a little bit weird being one sided. You talk, and then there was silence. So, anyway, appreciate you re-recording this. And anything else we need to hit before we wrap up tonight?
Just keep an eye out for when tickets go on sale for the Northern Fundraiser in Penticton. Those are, and just, make sure you buy the tickets when they go on sale. Don't wait. We don't
Yeah.
have spares. Doesn't matter who you are. We can't just give out more tickets.
Yeah. Well said. Yeah. So the Northern tickets will be on sale imminently for that, and next certainly within the next 2 weeks, tickets will be on sale there. And we got a really great lineup this year for the Northern fundraiser. Um, we'll be drawing a sheep hunt at the Northern fundraiser. We got a Dall sheep hunt we're going to be giving away that night. So you're going to want to be there. You don't want to miss that. So
I'll be there buying whiskeys.
awesome. And Sheep Week, I guess, our good friends over at the Wild Sheep Foundation, our big brother there. Um, Tickets are freaking hot and heavy. So if you're thinking of going to Sheep Week, don't wait because certainly the Peppermill's sold out. I don't know if there's any tickets or rooms left at the Atlantis. And then I know their tables are sold out. You can't buy a table for Saturday night anymore. So I'm not sure if you can still get tickets for the Saturday, but you don't want to wait 2 months because you're not going to get tickets. So if you're thinking about going to Sheep Week, get your tickets now.
Yeah, is there some sort of hidden secret that's going on this year for that? Because it just what the hotels sold out how long ago? Like it was wild.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah, it's crazy.
normally I've bought my rooms like this time of year, end of October.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit off the hook. I think there's just so much excitement around it and it continues to grow. And I think that's the thing is our sheep family, our sheep community is like that. I talk to, of course we've enjoyed that success with the Northern and Penticton and our growth and, the foundation and all the chapter and affiliates. Alberta, what they had 1,000 people at their banquet last year, right? So
Yeah.
it's unhinged, man. So it's a pretty good gig, and it's uh, it's a lot of fun to be part of for sure.
Yeah, sure. It's definitely a lot of people putting out a bunch of money just a chance to meet you. So it's pretty neat.
A chance to meet you. What does that mean?
All those people going to the events for a chance to meet Kyle Stelter.
Yeah, right. My goodness. That they would actually pay more if they didn't have to see me. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'll pay $20." And I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so,
Yeah.
yeah, awesome, brother. Well, cool. Good to catch up. I get to see you in 2 weeks and just, I guess,
Yeah.
just under 3 weeks in Penticton. So that's gonna be cool. And yeah, awesome.